Hello, folks. Welcome back to Picks and Predictions, NFL Week 13. We're going to be breaking down every one of these games and seeing who I can get wrong. So let's get into it. Historically, I've been doing pretty bad so far, and last week I went for 50%. So that's pretty good. I didn't actually wind up doing a video because the holiday wasn't able to get to it. But take my word for it, I went 50%. I guess I could lie about that, but it would be a pretty shitty lie. So, anyways, let's get into it. For the Thursday game, we're going to have the Seahawks versus them boys. And quite frankly, I just don't think the Seahawks are going to be able to do it. They've been lacking. They had their division for 1 week. They weren't able to keep it. They've just been going downhill since. And the boys, they're just hanging in there. They're not looking like the best team in the entire league, but they are getting the wins done. They're getting it done the way they need to. Boys are going to win. Next, we're going to have the Colts versus the Titans. And the Colts are looking a little hot right now, though they had a slow start. The Titans have just been slow the entire year. I don't think the Colts are that good of a team. I think they're going to peter out a little bit, and I'm going to give this one to the Titans. Falcons versus the Jets, and quite frankly, the mismanagement on the Jets is just unforgivable. Doesn't matter that they have a good defense, the offense cannot score. So I'm going to give this one to the Falcons. Though I don't think the Falcons are a very good team either, I think the Jets are just that bad. Falcons will win. Make sure you pour yourself a fresh subscription to TSST. Lions versus the Saints, and the Saints pretty much suck. Lions. Broncos versus the Texans, a game that a few weeks ago I would have thought was not good, but the Broncos have 5 wins in a row. CJ Stroud is looking incredible on a Texans team that is growing, and really looks like they're starting to find their own. Hard one to choose, surprisingly. I'm going to give it to the Texans. I think CJ's going to be hungry. I think his team's going to be hungry for him. And I think the Broncos are going to have to find the end of the line eventually because they're not that good of a team yet. So I will pick the Texans. Though I won't be surprised if the Broncos win. Chargers versus the Pats. What a shit fest this one's going to be. Oh my God. Just the Chargers just so bad. So bad. The Patriots are just so much worse. You can't pick the Patriots, not this year. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Chargers will win. Cardinals versus the Steelers. The Steelers having 7 wins. The Cardinals got Murray back and still look completely lackluster, full on tank mode. I don't think the Cardinals are even going to try to win another game this year. So I'm going to pick the Cardinals to beat the Steelers. Dolphins versus Commanders. Yeah, the Dolphins look great. Tua's doing awesome. So far staying healthy on that entire team. And the Commanders are looking like the Commanders. So, Fins. Panthers versus the Buccaneers. A nice divisional game here. The Buccaneers are a much better team than the record shows, I think at least. The Panthers are about as good as their record shows, I think at least. A divisional game, though, you never know with the divisional games that the Panthers just can't get it done. I'm going to have to pick the Buccaneers. Don't forget to tackle that like button. 49ers versus the Eagles. A non-zero chance that this is the championship game this year. Ooh, it's going to be a good one. I am excited for that one. Pretty tough to choose. I think the 49ers are going to put the Eagles in their place right now. And boy golly, this is going to be able to go either way. And if they tie, that'd be insane. I'm rooting for a tie, but I'm going to pick the 49ers. Browns versus the Rams. The Rams just, they went all in for that Super Bowl 2 years ago, beating my Bengals. The Browns defense is going to be able to completely overcome the Rams. Hopefully they can score at least a few points. That's all they're really going to need, I think. I'm going to pick the Browns to win. Chiefs versus the Packers. The Packers being surprisingly in it this year, despite being pretty lackluster. They have enough bright spots at the right times that they're getting a couple wins out. The Packers might be able to beat the Chiefs, but I'm not going to pick them. I'm going to pick the Chiefs. Packers could beat the Chiefs. They're probably not. I'm going to pick the Chiefs. And then we're going to have for Monday Night Football, the Bengals versus the Jaguars. Joe Burrow, of course, out for the season. We have Browning in. Browning didn't look half bad in the last game. He's a backup quarterback. That was his first NFL start. You know, it wasn't awesome. The defense did a pretty good job keeping the Steelers at bay, though they did let a lot of yards overall. We got the stops when we needed the stops. I think the defense is going to keep that going. Browning now has a little more experience. Hopefully the receivers can get more accustomed to him, and our line really needs to do their job because Browning had a lot of pressure. Though the Steelers' defense is pretty good. So, okay. But he was under a lot of pressure, escaped a lot of hands getting on him. A lot of hands getting on him. So I was overall pretty happy with Browning's performance. Hopefully we can step it up a little bit of a notch. I think we can actually pull out the win from the Jags. It's going to be really tight. I think we're going to have to just really get close to there. We're going to lean on McPherson a bunch. Let's get those kicks in. Bengals will win it. All right, on bye this week, we have the Ravens, the Bills, the Bears, the Raiders, the Vikings, and the Giants. This is the last bye week for any team, so we will have 16 games every week going forward from here on out. As far as the byes go, the Buffalo Bills definitely want their bye week. They could have used this bye week about 4 weeks ago, and I think they're going to come back from it strong. Let's see if they can rally at the end. The Ravens, they definitely are going to want it, though they've been a juggernaut through everything. As far as the Bears, the Raiders, and the Giants go, nobody gives a shit. Good job. You get a bye week too. You don't matter anymore. And the Vikings probably also need one to reconvene. Dobbs came out doing well, but the last couple games, he's kind of throwing a lot of interceptions in there, so bye week might be good to get their heads right. Thank you for joining us for another week of picks and predictions, NFL Week 13. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Leave us a comment below. Anything will do. You know what? Tell me what your favorite season is. Mine is spring.